All right, Trooper Von Show, State Police, here with Trooper Monroe. Today's date is March 8th, 2023. Time now is 3:44 p.m. I have here Deputy
Sergeant Michael.
Sergeant?
Yes.
I'm sorry, Mike what?
Michael Stephen Lombardino Jr.
Okay. From the Bossier Parish Sheriff's Office. All right, Michael, could you give me the rest of it?
Stephen, Stephen, Lombardino, Lombardino, Jr.
Common spelling. It's like my name. My last name's Bosche, and I'm like, common spelling.
Common spelling, yeah.
What's your date of birth?
7584.
And that makes you 38. I'm like 2 for 10 today. What's your badge number, sir?
1292.
And your call sign on the radio?
85.
Is 85, I think to keep up with everybody else, is 85 what's written on the side of your unit?
Yes.
Is that how, yeah. What's your current assignment at the Sheriff's Office?
B shift patrol supervisor. Do you need all my duties or just that one?
No, just that one. Just your main job. What are your normal duty hours?
6 a.m. to 6 p.m. They're 12-hour shifts. I guess everybody calls them 3 and 2.
Okay, so it's like with 12s, you might work Monday, Tuesday, off Wednesday, Thursday,
Yes.
you can make Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then the following week it would flip-flop.
Exactly.
Okay. Do you work straight days or nights, or do you rotate?
Just days.
Just days, straight days. Okay. On the day of the incident, the incident we're talking about is this past Saturday. There's a pursuit that started in Houghton and it led through all the way to Bossier City, where it ended in the shots fired deal. Do you know what the incident I'm talking about?
Yes, I do.
Okay. On that day, what were your duty hours for that day?
Duty hours from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Okay. Were you on regular duty or on a special detail?
Regular duty.
Within the past 48 hours to that event, did you work any extra jobs?
I worked as a bond technician
Okay.
for the sheriff's office in the Bossier City Fire Department.
Did you get called out any before that?
Before I got called out yesterday.
Yesterday? Okay, so in reference to the incident on Saturday,
No.
48 hours before that, did you get called out?
No.
Okay, so you got an adequate amount of sleep during the day before, leading into that day?
Yes.
You weren't tired, there was no other reason?
No.
Could you describe the uniform you were wearing that day?
It's our typical BPSO issue uniform, patrolling uniform, dress blues. People refer to them as.
And on your uniform, do y'all have patches, badges, name badge? Y'all have anything like that on your uniform?
Yes, all of that.
All right.
Badges on each shoulder, name badge on the front left. Okay, badges on the left, name tag is on the front right.
The equipment that you had that day on your rig belt or on your, did you have an outside vest? Or your vest
We
was
all
underneath?
have, regular patrol only has an inner vest.
The inner vest?
Yes.
Okay. So on your duty belt, what all did you have on it that day?
My duty belt, I have 2 magazine in a holder, a tourniquet, my duty pistol, my flashlight, 2 handcuffs, my radio, my taser, and my chemical spray.
Okay. So talking about your firearms, and we're talking about the way your magazines were arranged. You said you had 2 magazines on your rig belt, and I'm assuming you had one inside your duty pistol.
Correct.
So whenever we say that your magazines were topped off, it means if you've got 14 rounds, a 14 round capacity magazine, would you have all 14 rounds
In the magazine?
Your
Correct.
magazine? Okay.
Yes.
The magazine in your duty pistol, was it topped off completely plus one in the chamber?
Correct.
Okay, so totally, I believe y'all had the SIG 320s.
Correct.
With 40 calibers. Okay. So full magazine. Is that my?
Yeah, that's not.
Oh. The vehicle you were driving at the incident, could you describe it for me?
It's a 2018 Chevrolet Tahoe with BPSO decals,
Would you describe it as a fully marked unit?
fully marked, with lights on top, lights in the grill, and lights in the back.
Okay. Is this something that's issued by the sheriff's office to you?
Yes.
Would you say all the units assigned to patrol have the same unit that you have, or the same look?
Same decals,
Okay,
yes.
same decals, color scheme, so, okay. Basically saying you didn't go take it home and put all your own stickers on it?
No, everything that's on the outside of it is put on by our BSO fleet maintenance.
All right. Do you have an in-car camera?
I do not.
Okay. Spotlight,
Yes,
emergency lights,
yes,
siren,
yes,
in-car radio,
yes,
and a computer or mobile data terminal.
yes,
Was all of those things working properly that day?
yes.
Did you have a party that day? Was somebody riding with you?
No.
Okay. Did you have body camera?
Yes.
Was it activated that day?
I activated it at the point where I blocked traffic.
Okay.
That's when I turned it on.
And where do you typically keep it at? Is it like a magneted to
It's
your?
magneted dead center of my chest.
Okay. Outside of your body camera, was there any other recording, audio, or video device that you had personally or the department had?
No.
All right. Sarge, just in your own words, if you could describe from the time that you initially heard the call or became aware of the pursuits, describe to me like how you heard it, what did you do whenever you hear it, and then just walk me along the steps up until at the end, whenever you made it on scene to where the vehicle stopped.
Okay. I was on regular patrol. I was actually headed to meet with Corporal Sprankle to pick up a package from him, and we were supposed to meet at Swan Lake Road. I got onto I-220 westbound, and while I was en route to meet with him, someone on the radio, who never identified themselves, said that, hey, he's running towards you. Dispatch didn't really understand who it was either because there was no call on the screen. And the next thing we hear is he's fleeing northbound. And then eventually, who I recognized by voice was Houghton PD Unit 659 saying that I'm in a pursuit headed northbound on Highway 157 around North Foster. So I was actually on the phone with my partner, colleague, counterpart, Sergeant Tony Vandegrift. We were discussing regular patrol aspects, what reports needed to be done, everything. When we heard that, we're like, wait, what did he just say? So then we started looking at our ADL maps to see where our deputies were, to see if we maybe figure out if they need assistance, because they hadn't really called out assistance yet. We weren't sure if this pursuit was going to end up on I-220 or continue on. At that point, I sped up and began turning around at Swan Lake Road. I want to say it was around 5-ish p.m., 1700, somewhere around that time frame, maybe a little bit after, when he said he's continuing on, and that he possibly was engaged in the suspect was engaged in a hit and run around Highway 80 westbound at 157. our units began converging with the available ones we had. We had Deputy Richard Smith with a trainee who had spike strips, who then notified that he had set up not spike strips, stock sticks at the Tall Timbers area. It's a neighborhood off of Highway 80, and there's a playground over there, I think. I believe that's where he said he had set up for the stop sticks. A short time after that, he said that it was a successful deployment, that some of the tires got hit. I don't recall how many actually got hit though. Pursuit continued on. Houghton police called out speeds every now and then, but we were having to kind of get that out of them. At that point, we're trying to figure out whether or not BPSO needed to step in and ask them the questions that we typically ask our deputies or not, but dispatch helped with that. He continued on. They called out the traffic infractions, the speeds that they were doing. Said that the tires, I believe on the driver's side, had popped and were starting to come apart. He continued on. At that point, I kind of got off of I-220, turned around on Highway 80, and blocked the intersection of the I-220 westbound off-ramp at Highway 80. And I blocked that intersection to prevent vehicles from coming across. As I watched the pursuit come down Hillcrest, in front of Hillcrest on Highway 80 westbound, the suspect vehicle switched in and out of traffic, disregarded the traffic light. It was red at that point, at that time, and they blew by me. At that point, I realized there was only one Houghton unit behind them. I don't know where the other one went to. I'm not sure how, and I'm not sure who it was at that point. I couldn't tell if it was 659 or if it was another Houghton unit. So, trying not to leave him by himself, I did a U-turn and tried to catch up to him. Obviously, with the stuff that I carry in my vehicle, I don't engage in pursuits, but at least try to keep eyes on him. So I sped up, requested that LSP and OC be notified. Maybe they had some units available. As I proceeded down Highway turned basically to East Texas, I saw a unit come off of around Swan Lake Road area, turn its lights on, but I couldn't tell if it was one of my units or if it was a Versity unit. They continued on. They were calling out the traffic infractions at that point, and then my unit, Unit 105, Corporal Brian Sprankle, called into our dispatch saying that the suspect vehicle had crashed into a vehicle at Airline Drive in East Texas, but continued on. Short time after that, 105 said that, radioed him that the suspect vehicle had crashed out near Benton Road, East Texas intersection. I could see the dust cloud of where the wreck had occurred, and I proceeded up to the scene, but Versity units, multiple Versities were there, and I pulled up, I saw one Houghton unit, I saw my corporal's unit ahead of one or two Versity units. I parked in the back of that stack. As soon as I pulled up and put my vehicle in park around that time is when I heard the volley of gunshots. I called in shots fired, stepped out, I saw a congregation of law enforcement officers in the median, or it was like a concrete divider at that point, because it's so close to the intersection. It was, I don't know, maybe that wide. But they were all stacked in a tactical stack, facing generally north towards the suspect vehicle, which had flipped onto its passenger side, and the front of it was facing south. It was flipped onto its side, and I believe that the sign that it was resting against was Snelling, whatever Snelling is. Officers were facing that way. I got out of my vehicle. I did unholster my weapon, my sidearm at that point, and as I moved up, the stack of officers began moving towards the vehicle. At that point, I realized I was in a crossfire scenario, so I tucked back behind the vehicle and just waited until I could see that they kind of started backing off and called the scene clear. Once that happened, I walked up, found my deputy, pulled him away from the scene. Once they told me the scene was safe, pulled him away and began contacting my chain of command.
Okay. We'll go back to the pursuit side of it. So you said you saw, so once you came out, you saw one Houghton police vehicle behind the vehicle. You got in behind to help assist them, and then you ended up passing another vehicle at Swan Lake. So I'm guessing, was that a Bossier Parish unit?
I couldn't know. I never passed them. I just saw them up ahead, pull off the Swan Lake Road area, and activates overhead lights and take off. So it was way in front of me at that point. But I couldn't tell if it was one of my units or a motor seat unit.
Okay. And just for clarification, what was inside of your vehicle that you talked about? Like, what, do you do anything else outside of regular patrol duty that you carry special stuff? Is that what you're talking about?
Yes, one of my collateral duties, I'm a bomb technician. I'm assigned to Motor City Fire Department Bomb Squad, and so I do carry explosives in my back of my unit.
Okay.
So obviously those are a little volatile, and I try to avoid pursuits at all costs.
So you had explosives that day inside of your vehicle? Okay. Now I can understand the nature of that. Once you start going through airline, did you notice any vehicles that were crashed out? Or maybe it looked like they'd gotten in a crash?
Yes, so when I was coming through airline, there were a couple vehicles crashed out, but motor city units were converging on them, so I just continued on through as safe as I could and continued on to make sure that I could find my deputy, make sure my deputy, if he needed help, that I was there.
Okay. From your point of view where you parked at, could you ever look inside of the overturned vehicle, or could you only see the bottom side of it?
Initially, I could only see the bottom side of it. Once the stack moved to the actual cab of the vehicle area, I moved around to try to find my deputy, to get him to come to me, once they cleared it, and so I saw the windshield of the vehicle.
Okay. Did you hear anything, like loud verbal commands from the police to whoever was in the vehicle? Did you ever hear any of that, or?
I could not hear from where I was because the unit that was there that I'd taken initial cover behind and moved around from had their siren still active. So it was just blaring in my ear right here, so I couldn't see, and I was just trying to put eyes on my guy at that point.
Okay. Were there multiple units with sirens on, or was
Yes.
it? Yeah. Okay.
You said you did unholster your weapon when you exited your vehicle at the crash scene or at the scene.
Yes, sir.
Did you ever fire your weapon?
No, I did not.
And once the scene was safe, you located your deputy, and then you just got him out of the immediate area, and then notified your chain of command.
Exactly. I pulled, once I got him away and we were told that the scene was safe, turned my camera off and just got him and checked on him and made sure he was okay. I advised him, look, at this point, I checked to make sure he was okay first. He said that he wasn't injured or anything. No other officers were injured. I radioed him that no officers at this time that we know of are injured. I told him to stand by, stood with him. Sergeant Vandegrift arrived on scene, basically turned over Corporal Sprankle to him to kind of watch while I went back to my unit to make phone calls to my chain of command and let them know.
Okay. One more thing with the unit that spiked. I think it was an FTO in his training
Yes.
that spiked the car. He said that he had to get permission from a sergeant or some supervisor over the radio before he spiked. Was that you, or do you know who that was?
That would have been Sergeant Vandegrift that made that call.
Can you spell his last name?
VANDAGRIFF. First name Tony.
Okay.
And his unit number, for call number is 92.
Okay. I guess is that maybe a policy deal for y'all before you can spike anybody? You have to have permission from a supervisor.
Yes.
Okay. Anything else? Man, is there anything that we might have left out that you think is important for us to know?
Not that I can recall, no.
Okay.
659 did end up showing up on the scene, and I saw him changing the tire, so I don't know if he caught part of the stop stick or not, and that's the reason he never made it, or the only reason I saw that one unit.
Okay.
But that was it.
In time now, we're going to conclude this interview. Is 4:04 p.m.